Hey, Mikey, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
What's up, Dave? Chilling, man. Chilling. What's everything good?
Hey, brother, we got Cholo Trucker. He's on the road right now. He'll be on right now. He'll turn his camera on in you're about 8 minutes out, right, Cholo?
Yeah. I'm driving to go have a little bit of dinner, man. I was part of a movie 2 years ago, and the premiere is this Sunday, the red carpet premiere. So they're getting everything together, and I was invited. So I was like, all right, cool, man. So that's where
was the name of the movie Connor Ben isn't as good as everybody thought he was? Is that the name of the movie?
No. I would never be part of that movie. I would never be part of that movie. No, actually, the name of the movie, it's actually a true story. It's called Jumped In, and it's there's a Christian rapper. He goes by the name Second Chance, and he's from Norwalk, and he's playing his father back in 1995. His dad used to run the barrio right there
in Norwalk.
In Norwalk, yeah.
Oh,
so so I was just in a little piece of the movie, just in the background here and there. But no, he's I've chopped it up with him pretty good, man. So.
Well, you know what? Let us know if it's gonna come out on Tube or on Amazon or something, so we can watch it. Do you know if it's gonna come out?
I don't know. It's the red carpet premiere at a theater on Sunday. I don't know when it's gonna be out to the general public. It's an independent film, so it's gonna it's low budget, but hey man, they're making it happen. So
hey, you never know, Cholo. Steven Spielberg may be watching. All of a sudden, say, hey man, I want that vato on my next ET movie. You never know.
That's right.
You never know. Hey guys, before we get started, quick shout outs, man. J.M. Ortega, hey, órale, Cubo Raza. What's up, brother? And we got Joaquin Zamora. What's up, brother? Always, I'm looking for JC. JC's always on. Maybe he's had overtime tonight. Hey, guys, let's talk real quick. I know, Cholo, you're going to be on camera, but tell us, I was following you last Saturday. Dude, on one of your episodes, you had like 178, 200 plus people watching you. Did you see that? On your live episode?
Yeah. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that was bad, man. I was watching you. You were actually calling the fight better than Zamora and all those other idiots that were calling it. You were calling it better. So I had you on, and I muted them, and I had you calling the fights.
I appreciate it, man. I'm trying. I'm trying. Shout out to I will say this, man. The one person that is giving me a lot of love is Beto Duran. Shout out to Beto Duran. Yeah. Beto Duran, man. He remembered me from the last time I talked to him. I interviewed him, and he remembered me. And yeah, he's showing a lot of love, man. Shout out to him.
The dude's tall, huh? He's like 6'4",
He's a little bit tall, yeah. He's up there.
Yeah,
he's up there.
So. In some pictures, he looks pretty tall.
Yeah. He's but I mean, compared to you, David, you're a pretty tall guy, man. So I don't know. He's probably about the same as you.
Ahí estamos. Hey, brother, but listen, man, break it. You know what? The card, Mikey, did you get a chance to see the card or the Cepeda fight? Did you get a chance to see it?
I didn't get to see. Like I said, I was watching the Nate Diaz versus Amado, but I watched the Cepeda. I was flipping down the channel. So, but go ahead, Ed.
Break it down, Ed, from the beginning, man. Tell us what you saw.
All right. So, I mean, I went to everything, right? I went to the not the press conference, but I went to the weigh-ins as well. Giovanni Cabrera, man, that dude really loves himself. I didn't know he was that much of a character, but yeah, man, the guy really feels himself, man. He likes to have fun. He's dancing around. He's a showman. He's a real showman. Here I'm parking, so let me turn the camera on. Okay. There we go. Okay. Saludos to everybody, man. I'll tell you guys this. The fights were pretty fun. The crowd, by the main event, it was probably about 55, 60% full, and they shut down a few sections there at
Uh,
the Toyota Arena. So it was not a jam-packed house. I didn't see anybody really going for Zepeda. There was very few people that told me, "Hey, Cabrera's a little bit awkward," and he was. They did not give me the treatment they have before, man. They put me in way up there, just in regular seats. I had no power, no Wi-Fi, no anything, so I just did what I could. Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, they treated me like that. But oh well, I did what I could, and it was look, it was a fun time because the crowd was alive. But I don't know how I looked on TV. It was not a sold out crowd, and I thought Cabrera won the first round hands down. He won the first round. The second round, I think Zepeda did get it, but maybe not hands down. But I thought Zepeda did get it. The fight didn't last long because Zepeda did his thing. Cabrera chose to stand in the middle of the ring in round three and just exchange with Zepeda. I don't know why, but that's what he decided to do. And I thought what he was doing the first round really worked for him, which was just moving around the ring. He's very awkward. The guy's very awkward.
Yep.
But I thought that was working for him. But at some point, he just said, like, you know what, screw it, let's just go toe to toe. And I think that worked against him.
you know, Cholo, watching the fight, for whatever reason, it looked like he got tired. It looked like he wasn't at 100% because, yes, you're absolutely right. The first round, he jabbed and moved. And but the second round, the third round, I mean, you could tell that he was breathing with his mouth open. Maybe he was just getting hit too much to the body, because that's one of the things that Cepeda, that when they asked him what was his strategy, he goes, body, going to the body. And then they asked him, why to the body? He goes, because nobody could take my body punch when they interviewed him. But he didn't look 100% like he did when he fought. I'm talking about Giovanni Cabrera when he fought Pitbull. He looked much better when he fought against Pitbull. He looked tired.
Well, let's also remember he did not make weight. He came in 2 pounds over.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, he probably was dehydrated.
Yeah,
Hey, guys.
something. He probably had problems making the weight. Could be.
Yeah. Hey guys, the card, it wasn't exciting, Cholo.
No.
It wasn't exciting. And right now we're gonna talk about the ESPN card. I was looking forward to that. I thought that was gonna be the card of the night, and that let me down too. But we're gonna talk about that. But before we do, one of the things that I threw out, I don't know if you guys saw the teaser that we throw out what the show's about. I put on there, who's the next face of boxing? Who's the next Chicano / Mexican face of boxing? Because Canelo's not going to be around forever. Who do you guys see as the next face of boxing? Before you guys answer, you know what, man? I really like Cepeda. I really like Camaron. You know what? Like I said, 3 years ago when I had my other show, Rolling with the Punches, we had Roberto Diaz on the show. And when we asked him, this is 3 years ago, before this guy was barely coming up. He had been fighting, but barely coming up. And Roberto Diaz goes, the next world champion, he's going to be awesome. Camaron Cepeda. Nobody even knew who he was, but luckily I wrote it down. And when he was on with us, I reminded him, he goes, yes, Camaron Cepeda. Is it just me, or do you guys see it too?
Go for it, Mikey.
Yeah, I don't know about. I like Camaron, but man, I don't think he's marketable to be the next face of boxing. I don't really like his boxing style. It is, yeah, he comes forward, throws a whole bunch of punches, and he hits you to the body and everything. But it's a total package. You got to have the it factor. I don't see that it factor. Maybe not yet, but I don't see it. I don't see it. Like, and the face of boxing for right now. I like Virgil. If Virgil makes a comeback, he could be one of the faces of boxing, or the face of boxing. He's a Mexican American, good kid. This guy, every fight he has a knockout, so that adds to your status, right? To the face of boxing, you're exciting. So it could be either him. I like Boots Ennis. He's a slick fighter. It could be Boots, and there's a kid named
Chicano or Mexican.
Yeah. Hey, Boots. He ain't
Say that again.
Yeah. Boots isn't a Chicano or a Mexican.
Yeah.
Oh, my
We're
bad.
talking about a Chicano
Yeah,
or a
I like
Mexican.
Virgil. I like Virgil, man.
What about Bam
Okay.
Rodriguez?
Yeah, right now, if I really want to think about it, I like Virgil because
Okay.
he's at 154. He's gonna move up to 160. Bam Rodriguez could be. He's hot, but he's a little guy. So I think Virgil, if he does, they're how they're moving him. What I'm seeing, they're gonna move him. He's next.
You know what? Over here we had Champy say two Arizona vatos. David Benavides and Jesus Ramos. You know what, Champy? Jesus Ramos, no. I was a big fan of his. His last fight when he fought, I think on the Spence card, dude, he looked terrible, man. He did not look like the Jesus Ramos that we had seen before. He looked slow, sluggish. And as a matter of fact, we even talked about if it's time for him to change coaches because I believe his father was a coach. With that said, Cholo, what's your opinion? Give us your opinion.
Yeah, look, okay. The thing about when I was there, they were really building up William Zepeda and the graphics that they were showing, the highlights and everything. And then he said it in English on the Jumbotron, I am the next Mexican champion, right?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna agree with Mikey, man. While he's fun to watch, very fan friendly, he's not really getting a crowd, man. I was there. The place was almost half empty. And that's with section shut down already.
You know what, Cholo? I think that
Sections that were shut down already.
yeah, he's not popular yet. You know what I mean? And the card was terrible, like I was saying. I mean, name me who was on the card. I don't even remember what. I watched all the fights. Who was on the card? The card was terrible.
It was kind of boring.
It was a boring card, man. He can't sell it out. He's not there yet. I'm talking about when Canelo retires. You know what I mean? I'm talking about 2 or 3 years from now. Who's going to be the Chicano, Mexicano face of boxing? And I like what you said. Virgil Ortiz, Bam Rodriguez, great names, man. What do you think about that, Cholo?
Okay. It could be Camarón, but he's going to have to beat some of these guys right now at 135. And I'm not so sure if any of these, I don't have a lot of money right there. Diego Pacheco, let's see what happens with that kid. I like Virgil Ortiz. I think that is it. And we know the world of boxing. We know in the world of boxing, little guys don't get the spotlight. They just don't. It's just the way it is. But he is Chicano. He's changed that. But yeah, that's the only thing against him. If he were fighting 140, fighting at so.
Hey, Cholo, it looks like there's something wrong with your internet right now.
Okay, I thought it was me. I was like, man, my internet.
Yeah. Every other word, you're freezing up, Holmes.
Oh, okay. Let me log out and come back in.
Okay, got it. With that said, Mikey, Virgil Ortiz, he has a man when he's fighting. What is his name? Bohachuk.
Yeah, I heard that's a good fight.
That's going to be a great fight, man. That is going to be I'm surprised you're not going to go to that fight. It's going to be, where's it going to be? Oh, no, it's going to be in Vegas. I thought it was going to be in LA.
Okay.
It's going to be in Vegas on the 10th. I'll tell you, that is going to be, hopefully it's going to be a good card too. Hopefully, the card is going to be good because, man, that is going to be one heck of a great fight. We got Jutsu saying Bam Rodriguez. I agree with you. Bam's definitely up and running. And you know what? Just because Gallito Estrada and other Mexicanos, they're popular, but they weren't the face of boxing. You know what? You never know, man. Bam Rodriguez, he might just be that one exceptional prodigy that might be the next face of boxing when Canelo decides to retire. But we'll see. Yeah. But, dude, with that said, let me see what we got. So Joaquin, means you can't discount Pitbull. No, you know what? I think Pitbull's going to lose. I think Pitbull's going to lose against El Rayo. That's just me saying it, but we'll talk about that next week because that fight's coming up in 2 weeks. I mean, 2.5 weeks. So we'll be talking about that. Here comes Cholo. See if he's better now.
All right.
All right.
Again,
brother, I'm better now. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I'm in the parking lot of a restaurant, man. I got dinner plans at 6 o'clock exactly. So that's why I'm out here.
And you know what? Joaquin mentioned Pitbull, and so did Champy. But I was saying, you know what? We're going to see where Pitbull lands on August the 3rd when he fights Rayo. I think that right there, to me, it's a 50-50 fight, and we'll see where he lands. It's going to be a great fight, but I think he just might lose, but we'll see. I like Rayo. I like Pitbull too, but I like Rayo. What do you guys think about that?
I got Pitbull. I think it's a good fight, but I got Pitbull 70-30. I don't give Rayo too much of a shot. I think he gives him a good fight, but I don't think I don't give Rayo a big shot to win.
You know what? When Rayo fought de Los Santos is much bigger and faster, I believe, than Pitbull and Rayo. I mean, he got destroyed. He got destroyed. I'm thinking now that he's with Robert Garcia, he's training there, working out with champs. I mean, he's working out with Virgil Ortiz and so many others. I don't know, man. I have a feeling Rayo, and I hope Rayo does surprise us because I really like Rayo. I hope he really does. Now I can see Pitt losing too if he takes Rayo lightly. Yeah, of course. Hey guys, but with that said, I know you got to leave, Cholo, at 6 o'clock. So let's go quick. Let's talk about ESPN card. And you know what? Let's start off. And I know, Mikey, you didn't get a chance to see it, but you did see some of the highlights. But let's talk about Abdullah Mason. I've been talking about that kid for the past year, man. You know what? That kid, I know everybody was saying that Shakur Stevenson's the next Floyd Mayweather, the next big star. No. We're going to talk about Floyd Mayweather. But to me, this kid, Abdullah Mason, he's special. You know, people talk about a prodigy comes once in a great while. And we can name, you know, some Teofimo Lopez. They said he was a prodigy and so many others. But this kid is special. Did you guys get a chance to see him, Abdullah Mason? Mikey, did you get a chance?
I didn't see it. No, I didn't get a chance to see it.
Have you seen
He's
him
good,
fight?
though. I know. I like Abdullah. He's good. Good.
What about you, Cholo? Did you get a chance to see it afterwards? I know you were at the Cepeda.
Yeah. So when it comes to Abdullah Mason, I like what I see. You mentioned a name right there, David. You mentioned Teofimo Lopez, right? And once upon a time, I saw something very, very special in Teofimo Lopez, kind of like the way I'm seeing in Abdullah Mason. Now, fast forward to today, I'm not so sure if Teofimo Lopez is special. So I kind of want to pump my brakes a little bit on Abdullah Mason and match him up right, let him keep growing. But no, I like the way the guy looks.
Yeah, and you know what? He comes from a true boxing family. I mean, they were jiu-jitsu, they were karate. I mean, it's a good boxing family. His father is nothing like crazy Teofimo Lopez's father. You know, he's nothing like him, dude. This guy, I believe he's Muslim, and it has nothing to do with it, but they're very, very disciplined, him and his brothers. So I'm hoping. You know what? I like that kid. He has a great personality. He has the looks, and you know what? He definitely has that power, that star power. So so you know what? He started off the card on ESPN. He looked great. After that, we saw Keyshawn Davis against Madueño. What did you guys? I know, Mikey, you didn't get a chance to see it, but Cholo, you watched it. What did you guys think about that fight? Keyshawn Davis against Madueño.
Yeah, I got a chance to watch some of the highlights to that one. Keyshawn Davis is the one that's kind of making a name for himself or trying to, and I'm not really sure it's working because every time I bring up Keyshawn Davis's name, I hear a lot more bad things like, he's a hype job. He's a hype job. I like Keyshawn Davis. I kind of ranked him kind of like I did Frank Martin. Like, you know what? He's okay. He's good enough, but I don't think he's great at all. So Keyshawn Davis, I think he can be around the mix and have some good fights and give some really good fighters a good competition, but I don't think he'll ever be great.
Okay. What about
Yeah.
you, Mikey? What do you think about Keyshawn Davis?
Yeah, yeah, like all these guys are prospects and all that, and they match him out right. Like you see Keyshawn Davis competition, dude. He's fighting tomato cans and taxi drivers, and yes, he's gonna get the sensational knockouts. Yes, his reflections look good, and his defense stands, and he looks good. But we got to understand the type of porn they're giving him. Like, so we don't really know yet, but he has good skill set. He's a former Olympian. Was in the Olympic team, right? Something
Yes.
like that.
Yeah.
Was in the Olympic team? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yes,
I like
yes.
his fundamentals and everything. He's good, but I don't see that. I don't see. He's not. He doesn't have that twitch, that fast, that those quick reflections. He's just nice and solid. But nice and solid could take you a long way. Like Ed's telling you, you could be a solid opponent. Like Frank Martin, he was nice and solid, but boom, as soon as he felt that pressure, he popped with Tank Davis. He was doing pretty good in the fight, and then I don't know what happened. So. Yeah, I don't see that it factor in him. Sorry to say it.
No, I agree with both of you. I don't see the it factor either. He does have a good personality, and he does have a great coach, but I just do not see the it factor. I don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
His coach isn't his coach Crawford's coach, guys. Is that his coach? Crawford's coach?
You're talking
I was going
about
to say that, but I'm not 100% sure. But he is coach with the.
I thought it was Crawford's coach, Bomac.
Bomac.
He's
Bomac.
Bomac is his coach, right?
I think it is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
So. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
Somebody in the comments put it.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, Bomac. Yeah, you're right,
So
Vince.
that says a lot.
That says a lot too.
So yes, good mentors, a good system.
Yeah. Hey guys,
could be
not
solid.
to get specific, but real quick, Yard Recall. What's up, brother? What do you guys think of Kermel Moton? I think it's too early. He looks like a little 17-year-old killer at 126. He looks good, but he's 17 years old.
Got the switches.
You guys think he got the it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got to see more of him.
He's got a little bit of Canelo in him.
He looks like a little Canelo.
Yeah, I see his scoring. Yeah. I see his fundamentals. Yeah, he's like a Canelo mix, man. But I seen his sparring. It doesn't mean anything, but the little tricks he does, his twitches, this kid's marketable. I like this kid, man. Is he going to be special? I see the twitches and I see the it factor, but we're not going to know until in a couple more years. He's only 17 years old, but he's beating up men.
And you know what? Mayweather was there at the fight. I think he walked him in. So you know what? Mayweather's planning to make a lot of money. He made a lot of money with Tank Davis. You know what? If he's blessing him, he sees something that we don't. And you know what, Puerto Rico Rum? I agree with you. Keyshawn hit this guy with everything but the kitchen sink. Y sabes que this dude, Madueño, tiene huevos el cabrón. I'm telling you, man, this vato, I'm serious. That guy, he got hit with everything. He's never been down. Never been down. Yeah, you're absolutely right. He hit him with everything. Those body shots, we could hear them. And you know what? They were hurting him, but the dude never went down, man. Never went down. I agree with you, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Devin Haney. Okay. All right, guys. So now let's talk about Shakur Stevenson versus Artinian. What did you guys think about that fight, man? I'll tell you, he before you guys answer, he put me to sleep. By the time the fight started, it was like 12:30 over here, East Coast time. It was over about 1:15. I was telling myself, go to sleep, go to sleep. I was waiting for that because he was arguing with his grandfather in the corner. Remember, I'm going to knock him out. I'm going to knock him out in this round. I was waiting for that.
Yes.
The only person he knocked out was me because I fell asleep watching the fight. Was it just me? Was it
everybody
me?
Else?
You guys tell me. We'll start off with you, Cholo. Was it just me?
All right. So I was able to watch most of the fight live while it was happening because there's a pay to fight finished early. So I was able to go back and watch it. I think I caught it probably like the third round or something like that. And I think it was probably that the end of the third or the end of the fourth where I did see Shakur Stevenson say something like that, like, I'm going to finish him. I'm going to finish him.
Yeah,
And
he kept saying it over and over again.
Yeah, man. And it never, look, the thing about Shakur, he's good defensively, but he doesn't respond with any counters, though. That's the thing. Like, he'll make you miss, but he doesn't make you pay for it too much. Yeah, it was boring, especially coming from the Zepeda Cabrera fight where they were going at it, but it was over in less than 3 rounds. But I will say this. I still think Shakur Stevenson is a very talented fighter, and he still is marketable. I mean, I don't know how it looks. Just from the TV view, it looks somewhat to be packed in there. Yeah, they started showing people getting up and leaving. It was his last fight under Top Rank's contract, so they didn't really care. I don't know if they were really in cahoots with ESPN, who was broadcasting it, to say, hey, show people getting up and leaving. I don't know, but he is still marketable. He does still sell. I'm not saying he sells pay-per-views or he's a superstar, but he's still somewhat of a star. So until people start saying, like, you know what, I'm not going to be watching this dude or paying to go watch him, in the arena, whatever it may be. He was in Jersey and they started booing him. So I still think he's a very talented fighter. I still think he can beat some of the top guys at 135, but is he fun to watch? No, I don't think he's fun to watch, but I don't think that takes away from his talent. I think he needs to just step it up a little bit more so people could be, so it could be a little bit more fan friendly.
I agree with you. Familia Primero, that was a great fight when he fought Valdez. And you know what? When they were interviewing Valdez, and Valdez mentioned, hey, when I fought him, he wants to get a rematch. He goes, when I fought him, I forgot that he had fought him. So as he's talking, I'm looking it up, and I remember watching that fight, and that was probably, you're absolutely, Familia Primero, that was probably his last good fight. Mikey, is it just me that he put asleep, or is he exciting, and is he the future, and does he have the it factor?
Yeah, I'm going to have to disagree a little bit with Ed. I don't think he's marketable. If you hear him talk, that guy, he can't put a sentence together. He sat on his punches. This fight, he tried to make it a little bit more exciting. So he did sit in the pocket a little bit more, but you still see some running, but it's boring. He doesn't go for the knockout. People like knockouts. That's why when you say who's the next Chicano Mexican, it's Virgil, because he'll touch you, he'll knock you out. That's what people want, to take gambles, take chances. And he doesn't do that. He said, I'm going to make this fight boring. He tells us that. In other words, why are we going to watch it? To tell you the truth, guys, I'm going to say it right here. I saw a Nate Diaz versus Masvidal fight. Shout out to my boy that put it right there. I saw the Fernando Vargas
Yard recall.
The Fernando Vargas fight versus the Garcia, Ryan Garcia's little brother. I was watching the Shane Mosley Jr. versus what's his name, the Iron Man, whatever. The Miracle Man, Daniel Jacobs. Those fights were exciting. That card was exciting, and man, if Shakur Stevenson wants to be one of the faces of boxing, because he does have skills, he needs to take more gambles. And how can two old UFC fighters take the spotlight from you when you're showcasing on ESPN boxing? Like that's ridiculous.
You know what he needs to do? He needs to go back and give De Los Santos a rematch. I mean, why give him a rematch? Yep. You know what I mean? Yep. And fight him like he fought this guy Hartivian in the center of the ring. Let's see what happens. But you know what? This Hartivian, he didn't have a big knockout punch, so that's why he didn't do it. If he fought De Los Santos again, Ed, exactly. He does have great defense, great head movement, great foot movement. But if he fights a puncher like De Los Santos, he will run all night because he's not going to trade punches with a knockout artist. Go ahead, Ed.
Yeah, so okay, so that Diaz Masvidal fight. Shout outs to Buzz. He was actually there at that fight, man. Shout out to
Okay.
Stockton, and
Okay.
they're over there doing it up. That
Buzz.
card, I'm with you, Mikey. That card was fun, man. That card was
Yeah,
fun
dude.
to watch, man. It was, and that Vargas, Fernando's Vargas son against Sean Garcia. I thought that was a really good fight. But when it comes to Shakur
Dude.
Stevenson, okay. But see, here's the thing, though, Mikey. He is marketable for one reason or another. He's more popular in this country than Camarón Zepeda is. Even though Camarón Zepeda is putting in more work and much more fun to watch, for one reason or another, maybe it's just because Shakur Stevenson was doing so good at 126, started moving up, fought Valdez at 130. Not really impressive at 135, but every time people talk about 135, the top guys, the Tank Davis, the Lomachenkos, I never hear Camarón Zepeda, but I do hear Shakur Stevenson's name over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So he's marketable to a certain extent. I'm not saying he's a superstar, but he's marketable to a certain extent. I think that needs to change. I hope that changes because Camarón Zepeda deserves that spotlight, not Shakur.
And do you think it's because he's was fighting for top rank? Oscar, when was the last time you saw Oscar de la Hoya till right now? He's finally talking about Virgil Ortiz. He's finally talking about Camarón Cepeda. He was pushing crazy boy Ryan Garcia, making him sound like he was the next coming of Christ. But you know what? Could it be that he was just and is just not being marketed correctly by Oscar de la Hoya?
It could be because it took a long time for Jaime Munguia, and even Jaime Munguia is not that big of a star. It took a long. It took Zurdo Ramirez, another guy. Now that guy sucks. I don't really like him, but he's Mexicano from Mexico. He had over 40 fights, and even him, he wasn't really that popular. Virgil Ortiz, again, super knockout artist, not that popular.
Oh.
Ryan Garcia markets himself. That's the thing about Ryan Garcia. Yeah. He's a star, the biggest star for Golden Boy, but that's because it's Ryan Garcia. He himself is marketing himself like that. So maybe there is something going on with Golden Boy that, I don't know if they're really doing a good job in promoting their fighters.
What do you think, Mikey? Is it just me?
Yeah.
It
doesn't help. It helps a lot. Yeah, with Shakur? Yeah.
No, with Camarón. They're not marketing him correctly. Or Virgil Ortiz or Munguia. I mean, these guys are part of a stable. Not everybody knows them like they know Shakur because Top Rank, ESPN, they're pushing these guys. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Is it because they're not being correctly?
Yeah, I believe so, man. Like, I know this is connected to pay-per-view fights. Everything's a pay-per-view fight, trying to make a pay-per-view star, and they don't want to take chances with their fighters, and it has to do with everything. And maybe you have to play the social media thing also. They have to be marketing themselves in social media. So that's another angle you go through. And these guys need to learn English, man. Cepeda, if he wants to be marketed correctly, he needs to learn his English. And Virgil Ortiz,
he's learning English.
Unfortunately, he got sick. Okay. So and Virgil, he got sick. So that's what happened to him too. He kind of disappeared because he got sick. So we can't judge him as much, right?
Yeah. Hey guys, talking about judging.
Yeah.
That segues into this next fight. We'll get out of next week's card. We'll start talking about that because I know you got to go, Cholo. But what did you guys think? Did you guys get a chance to watch Oshaki Foster versus Consequao? What did you guys get a chance to watch that fight? Cholo, did you get a chance to watch it?
I saw. Go ahead there.
I was highlights. I can watch it now because of controversy I keep hearing. But at the same time, I was covering the other. that it was a boring fight. It was like, oh, this fight kind of talking about the Oshaki Konsakao. All right, well, I'm not gonna go. And then throughout the week, I've been hearing, man, robbery, one of the worst robberies, one of the worst robberies. And I'm like, son of a bastard. Now I want to go back and rewatch and watch it. But from the highlights that I've seen, I mean, I hear everybody what they're saying, that it was look, I like Oshaki Foster. I do. He's a fun fighter. That's why it was kind of getting to me when people were saying it was a boring fight. But now, because of the controversy, now, yeah, I want to go watch it.
Mikey, did you get a chance to watch it?
I saw the highlights and everything. It looked pretty close. It didn't look like a Shocky Foster. Like it could have gone either way. But it wasn't the most exciting fight. And the Shocky Foster can't make one that weight class anymore. Is it 126? He needs to move up. He needs to move up. But it was close. I don't know.
I'll tell you, watch the whole fight. Watching the highlights doesn't give you justice. Watch the whole fight. He was robbed. That was without a doubt a robbery. It was a very boring fight, but you know what? He played a Shakur Stevenson. Consacao could not hit him. And if you look at the numbers, forget the numbers. Just watch the fight. That was without a doubt a robbery. Without a doubt, we always talk about
complete robbery.
This was a complete robbery. Yes, I would have gone maybe 9 rounds to 2. 9 rounds, I mean, or 10 rounds to 2 or 9 to 3, maybe 9 to 3, if that. But yeah, it was a robbery. It was, but watch it. Maybe it was just me, but yeah, I mean, everybody, even Demetrios said, but Foster was straight robbed. Yes, it was a boring fight because he didn't trade with him. He was dancing, but he was hitting him. And Consacao was missing. So yeah.
Hey, by the way, real quick, I want to give a shout out to Demetrio. He was in the hospital, man, expecting his first child, and he was there on the chats when I was calling the fight for Zepeda.
Yeah, congratulations, brother. Is it a little boy or a little girl? Man, let us know. Congratulations, man, to you and your beautiful wife, your lovely wife. Guys, so now let's talk about the fights over the weekend. We're going to go fast, Cholo, because I know you got to go. We got 20 minutes, but here we go. Janibek pulls out of the fight with Mike Hollick. I know I killed the names, but you guys know I'm talking about, this Russian. He pulls out because of hydration. Do you think that he pulled out because he wasn't going to make weight? And if he wasn't going to make weight, guess what? He loses the title? Or did he really faint because he had problems making weight? We'll start off with you, Mikey. Tell us, what do you think? Oh, little boy, congratulations, brother. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I got the news from IBF. I got the news from IBFP, and I'm like, what? Oh, that's crazy. Supposedly, yeah, he can't make that weight anymore. He can't make that weight, and he passed out. They took him to the emergency room, and the fight got postponed. Oh, I don't know if it got postponed or he's not going to show up to. He's not going to make 160 no more.
That fight has been completely canceled, and the new
it's been canceled. So
yeah. Murataya versus Tevin Farmer. They're going to be the number one fight. Yes.
The headline.
Yeah. The headline.
Okay. So yeah. So he's going to move to 168. He can't make 160 no more. He's 30 years old. I googled it. I believe he's 30 years old, and I guess he can't make that weight anymore. And I don't know if this happened because of he doesn't want to lose the belt. I'm not sure. I didn't hear nothing about that. But that's good. That's a good concern you brought up, Dave. So I don't know if they're going to penalize him or you let him keep the belt. No, I don't know exactly how it works.
They said that he got sick, but they did not blame the weight. So he just says, "Hey, I'm in the hospital right now. I can't show up. I'm sick." So, but you could read between the lines. They're not going to take his belt away because they can't prove that he couldn't make the weight. But that's what it was. Ed, what do you think? You think it was that, or you think he really is sick?
Yeah, well, apparently it was due to dehydration. So, the thing is that this guy doesn't fight too often. I do like watching him fight. I'm not gonna sit here and say like I'm a big fan of his and I'm waiting, on the calendar, marking it down for his fights. But I do like watching him fight. But he doesn't stay active, man. And when you're not staying active, now you need your body to do something that it's not used to doing anymore because you've been out of the ring for so long to make this certain weight. Yeah, I do want him to move up to 168 and fight in building. I think that would be a good fight for him to do. But at 160, look, I don't know when's the last time he fought, and now we don't know when's the next time he's there fight. So he might go this whole year without fighting. So I mean, I don't like it, David. I don't like it. If he cannot make the weight, then just move up. If it's true that it was dehydration, there's something there with the weight then. So I do like him, but he's 30 years old. You got to do something, man. You got to stay active some way, somehow, because you're starting to fade away. Yes, you were never a superstar, but the little stardom that you had, the little interest that people had in you, is starting to fade away, Holmes, and it's fading away pretty fast. And this does not help you out. But I do like the Farmer Murataya fight.
What's the name of that Morenito, the Negrito that fought Garcia, Jonathan Garcia, and he beat him? He looked really good. He had a new coach. He had the Breadman as his coach. This was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Remember that black guy that fought? What was his name? And he
fought Jonathan Garcia.
He fought Jonathan Garcia, and he beat Jonathan Garcia. And it was an upset. He was not supposed to win. And Garcia, he was the next star at 160. He lost. Remember, we talked about his father being his coach, but that guy, this same guy had fought Benavides. Alice. There you go. Thank you, Dimitris. I remember his first name, but Alice. I like that guy. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good fight, man. That was a good fight. Orale, Anthony, what's going on, brother? That was a good fight. There we go. Beat Elijah Garcia, not Jonathan. Elijah Garcia. He beat him.
Yeah.
Well, so man, they should have. Man, well, they couldn't bring him in because I wanted to see this other Russian guy fight. I've heard a little bit about him. I was looking forward to it, pero no se hizo. But talking about the fight that que sí se hizo, Murataya versus Tevin Farmer, what do you guys think? Murataya, I've been a big fan of his, but guys, the last 2 fights, I don't know, man. I liked his younger brother better, the teacher. When he fought at 118, he looked great. Is it just me, or is Murataya somehow losing that luster? Cholo, we'll start it off with you. What do you think?
No, I don't think he's losing that luster, man. I think it was just opponents. I think Tevin Farmer is going to bring the best out of Murataya. I'm really excited for this fight, man. You know what? If we don't see Johnny Beck against this other guy that I can't pronounce his name, so be it. This is a fight that I'm really looking forward to. I'm going to be glued to my TV to watch this fight. Now, if Murataya, drops an egg on this one, then maybe I might be on your side, David, and be like, you know what? Yeah, maybe he's losing a little bit of his luster here. But no, I don't think so. I think this is going to be one heck of a damn good fight. I like Tevin Farmer. I think Tevin Farmer is going to put up a good fight with his triple eye. But, man, Murataya is going to get that victory, man. I think we're in for a really good fight tomorrow.
Well, Tevin Farmer's last great fight was against Jojo Diaz in Miami.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yes.
The day before the Super Bowl, like 2 or 3 years ago. He took, I think, a year and a half off. He came back, has 2 wins, but you're absolutely right. Hopefully, I like Murataya, but I just don't like the way he's fought the last 2 fights. Hopefully, I agree with you, Cholo. I want him to be a world champion because I like the kid. Mikey, tell us, what do you think?
Yeah, Murataya, man, he's promising and all that, but he fights at the level of his opponents. The last 2 fights, especially the last fight, he won decision. And he fought at the level of the opponent, the guy he fought, and all eyes on him right now. He's another prospect that people are looking and they're mentioning him with big names. So he needs to shine. And is Tevin Farmer a southpaw? I think he is. I think Tevin Farmer's southpaw, right?
I think so.
I got to look it up, but Tevin Farmer's I don't think he's.
Well, Dimitri will tell us. He'll tell us right now.
Okay. Yeah, so man, I don't think the Tim Farmer's gonna stand with him. So he has to cut the ring and use a lot of energy and cut the ring, and maybe Tim Farmer will make it an ugly fight, not an ugly fight, but a boring fight. And they're saying it might go decision. So Murataya needs a knockout. He needs to get these out because the last two fights he didn't look is not that kid that we're talking about. That
No.
Bam's taking all the shine from the Robert Garcia. So he needs to if he wants to be mentioned, he needs to, a sensational knockout. He can't
Yeah.
go decision. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what, Demetrio, you're absolutely right. It is Tyrone Davis. He fought at 168 against Benavides. I believe he got knocked out or knocked TKO on that. The fight against Garcia, he went down to 160. So now he's fighting at 168, but he did go up to 168. I agree with you, Demetrio. With
Yeah,
that.
Cameron Davis, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
he's
Tyrone Davis. That's
Canelo's
what we're
sparring
talking
partner.
about.
He's Canelo's sparring partner.
Really? Wow, I did not know that.
I got Demetrio, let me know, or Anthony, let me know. Ed, let me know. Isn't Cameron Davis Canelo's sparring partner? Guy with the dreads?
Don't know, but yeah, Demetrio, we
Guy
told you,
with the
man.
dreads. I don't know if he's a partner though.
He's
I
a
think
slick
so.
stop. I agree with you,
Yeah,
Mikey.
so he's gonna be
Yeah.
slick. I
Yeah.
think he's gonna get on a bike. And this guy, the kid needs to invest to the body and cut the ring and all that. And then the last time he said he couldn't make that weight. So is he gonna have trouble making weight? So that's gonna take his energy. So he needs a sensational knockout, no matter what.
Guys,
Murataya.
another good fight on that card is Ruben Villa. We haven't heard from him. I believe he only has one loss. Ruben Villa against Suleiman Segawa. That's going to be Jonathan Lopez. I don't know who he is. Charlie Cheesy. The other guys, I don't know who they are. But that's going to be a good fight. I like Ruben Villa. So I'm looking forward to that one. And going back to the Boots Ennis versus David Avenesian. What do you guys think about that? They'll be the last one. Then we'll talk about Canelo.
Go ahead, Ed.
Go ahead, Ed. Boots Ennis.
Well, I mean, this is going to be against Avenesian.
Yeah.
Look, Avenesian's he's Avenesian's been around the block.
Mm-hmm.
Going to be some name. I mean, Avenesian, a great name, veteran name to put under. Here's the thing about, man, you know, there's a lot of hype. Dennis, I like him. As Mikey says, the skills to pay the bills. Happening in his home. Now, there has been a lot of fight that when they go fight in their city, in their state, where it may be, there's that curse. It hasn't happened to him, but it happens to a lot of fighters. So with a veteran like David Avenesian, this is his time, man. This is his time to shine, to get that big upset win, because everybody thinks that Boots Ennis is going to go in there and have a showcase fight, which I think he is going to. But does the hometown curse play a factor in here? I don't know. It could be, but it will be better for boxing for Boots Ennis to look really good, and see what happens with him. But no, I'm excited for this fight. I'm excited. David Avenesian is no punk. He's been around the block. He's been in there with some great fighters. He's put up some great fights, so he's not just gonna fold, man.
Yeah, and you know what, Dimitri, you're absolutely right. He's a little nervous about the hometown fight with you, Cholo, and Avenesian's a dog too. He knocked out Josh Kelly. Yeah, I agree. And you know what? He gave Crawford a pretty good fight till he got knocked out. Mikey, what do you think about Boots Ennis, and what do you think about the fight this weekend?
Oh man, he's tailor-made for Boots Ennis. He's got that high guard. He's a robot, just comes forward like this. Boots Ennis is gonna destroy that high guard. He's gonna put the pull down, body shots. He's gonna shoot through it. He's got too many weapons. He's gonna switch southpaw, go around that high guard. It's just too many things are gonna be happening at the same time when Avenesian's not gonna know what to do. I mean, Boots Ennis does have deficiencies. He does let his hands down, and a lot of he makes a lot of mistakes. But I don't think Avenesian has the skill set and the tools to expose that. Too fast, too big, too strong. He's got the height advantage, the length advantage, the youth. Avenesian's been knocked out. It's just like, this is the Boots Ennis coming out party with the zone. Nah, man, I got Boots Ennis via knockout. And yeah, the Rashid brother, what's his name? Somebody
Rashid
put that. There's two brothers. So if I'm not mistaken, the other one beat Garcia, but I could be wrong. But yeah, two brothers, the Ellis brothers.
Hey, Mikey, taking out your crystal ball, Mikey Mercado. So you're calling a knockout what round by Boots Ennis, and they give us a prediction on Murataya versus Tevin Farmer. Take out the crystal ball, bro. Take out the crystal ball. You're Mikey Mercado. Tell us let's go with Murataya versus Tevin Farmer. What's gonna happen there? Guys, those of you who don't know, Mikey is special. He has a gift and he's 95% right, usually. What do we got, Mikey?
Man. You know what? The Murataya fight, because last time he hasn't looked so good. The last, I'm gonna go Murataya decision. He's gonna get the decision. I hope he knocks him out. Murataya decision. Boots Ennis, I'm gonna say lucky number 7. He's gonna knock him out in the 7. How about that?
All right, cool. Cholo, give us your prediction, brother. And you know what? We got 6 more minutes, and we're gonna end the show with Canelo. Who's he fighting? But give us your prediction. Murataya fight. And also Boots Ennis. What's your prediction?
Yeah, I got Murataya. Man, I think that one goes the distance. I think that one goes the distance in a pretty good action fight. You know, like I said, Tevin Farmer's no punk, man. When it comes to Boots Ennis and Chompy, yeah, he was supposed to fight Cody Crowley first, and people were excited for that one. I'm excited for this one too. Yeah. This one I do see a stoppage. I do see Boots Ennis. If the hometown curse does not go over on Boots Ennis, and you're right, Mikey, this is his first fight on the zone. So it should be Boots Ennis. If this hometown thing does not affect him in any way, I say Boots Ennis finishes in, I'd say, 8 rounds.
Cool. Cesar Torres, you're absolutely right. Bomac is Keyshawn Davis's coach, and you know what? That makes a difference. Anthony Bravo, 8th round. I think you're talking about Boots Ennis. And guys, at this point, Canelo should fight Yorokis Gamboa. What? Hey, ya llegó el campeón, JC. Hey, brother, we're looking for you, man. Hey, but guys, real quick, Canelo. Now they got Chris Eubanks Jr. in the Canelo sweepstakes. What do you guys think? Who is Canelo going to fight? Now he's fighting in September again. So who is he going to fight?
You know, somebody brought it up to my attention. I think it was Demetrio, man. And it made sense what he said. Now, I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but Canelo could have it in his head that he's fighting Benavidez all along. He's just waiting. So Benavidez has a very short time to cut the weight to make 168. Mm-hmm. Think about it. At the end of this month, if Canelo comes out and says, you know what, Benavidez, let's do it. September, middle of September, Mexican Independence weekend, let's handle it. That does not give Benavidez a long time. That gives him, what, a month and a half or so to cut the weight and have a full training camp. That'd be very smart for Canelo to do. Do I think that's going to happen if I had to put money on him? No, but I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, I think the fight is probably going to be Berlanga. Even though earlier this week I heard that Spence might even be in the running.
Well, no, Spence is fighting
Sebastian Pandora.
Yeah, they're fighting. So yeah, he's out. What do you think, Mikey?
Yeah, I got 2 conspiracy theories. All right, the first one, I agree with Ed, and they might even pull the Benavidez fight, but because Mauricio, the WBC gave Benavidez an extension, another week to throw in the undisputed paperwork. Supposedly the paperwork got lost. That the Benavidez turned it in and it got lost in the mail. So they gave him an extension so maybe Canelo's waiting him out. So last minute, boom. Or the Eubanks fight. I got my second conspiracy theory. All right, UFC is gonna have a crazy Mexican independence fight, a UFC fight at the Sphere in Las Vegas, a new Sphere they built. It's gonna be a Mexican shootout. It's never done before in the Sphere. They're gonna have a fight inside there. It's gonna be crazy Mexican independence. So Canelo can't compete. The best move that Canelo's gonna do is fight Eubanks in Wembley Stadium. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna take him out after September, because if he has a fight in Vegas, they can't compete. They can't compete with the UFC. It's gonna be a crazy Mexican showdown in the Sphere. Everyone's talking about it. So he's gonna fight in Wembley Stadium in Europe. My conspiracy theory.
Hey, but what if
Okay.
he decides to fight Benavides in September on Independence Day? You think he'll give this UFC a run for its money?
I think
Yes.
so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? After what Mikey, okay, after what Mikey just said right there, let me go ahead and throw this out there. Okay, I forgot about Chris Banks Jr. Yes, he could fight Chris Eubanks Jr. in the UK. By the way, if he fights Chris Eubanks Jr. in the UK, he could fight him the same day as the UFC card. Remember, those fights over there are a lot earlier for us out here. So he
Yeah.
could fight on still the same Saturday as the UFC card. Now, would it be pay-per-view? I'm not really sure. I don't know how they'll work that out. But yeah, he could still fight him that day, and it won't interrupt anything with the timing of the UFC card. Now, if he fights Benavides in Vegas, I believe that will trump the UFC card. And I think that's the move for Canelo to do. I talked about this last week, man. Was it last week or the week before? I'm not sure. But I talked about this. Canelo, do not give this date up, man.
No.
Do not be red. Don't let the UFC be Debo and just uppercut you for your bike, homie. This got to be your date. You need to make a stand. Get Benavides on short notice. Wait till the end of the month. You're right, Mikey. There was an extension for Benavides to put in for his mandatory. You're right. So now that's making me think right now that this might happen. But Canelo, you're Canelo, man. You're on the Forbes magazine. There is no UFC fighter like that. Do not just lay down and let these fools take it from you. You get Benavides in Vegas. Yes, the UFC is going to show out, and they're going to have a good pay-per-view, a good ratings and all that. But it's not going to top Canelo Benavides in Vegas the same day. Don't look at it, Canelo, like you need to compete with the UFC. You need to hold your ground and say, no, Charlie, I'm Canelo, UFC. You compete with me. I don't compete with you. You compete with me. Hold your ground, homie. Don't let UFC just come and punk you for your bike, dog. Don't be like red and get your chain snatched. Oh, my grandmama give me that chain. Charles, dog. This is your date. You are one of the richest, most popular in the world, dog. Do not give it up.
Guys,
By the way, just real quick, shout out to everybody who loves the UFC. I'm not talking bad about MMA. I respect the sport and everything. I'm just saying, Canelo, dog, don't give this date up, man.
do you think Cholo and Mike, do you think if he gives up the date, he ends up fighting Berlanga, nobody's going to go to that fight. If that happens at the UFC, without a doubt, they're taking it over those dates. Do you think that we're going to have a hard time getting those dates back, even though Canelo in May decides to fight in Cinco de Mayo? Do you think that we're giving up those dates? We're going to lose those dates, not giving them up. Are we going to lose them to UFC?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I believe so, because we just talked about it, right? What happens on Cinco de Mayo and Mexican Independence Day? You gotta have a Mexican superstar fighting that day. Now you get somebody like Virgil Ortiz, William Zepeda, Bam Rodriguez to fight on those dates, and Dana White puts a really good UFC card. The UFC card, I think, will trump right now, as it stands right now, any other Mexican fighter. The only one right now that I believe will trump whatever UFC puts together is Canelo, because globally he is the star. He is the guy. He's on the Forbes magazine. He is the man. That's why I'm saying, Canelo, dog, it's all on you, man. Right now for those dates, homie. It's all on you. It's all on your shoulders, dog. Don't give it up, man. Boxing needs these dates.
Yeah, and it's got to be Benavides. It's got to be Benavides.
Yes.
If it's not Benavides, it's not going to beat the UFC. These Mexican UFC fighters are dogs. They go all out, dude, and they're going to have a lineup of nothing but Mexican fighters. Dana White's doing it right, man. He's doing it for the Mexican fans. He's kicking ass. So, man, I'm a UFC fan. I watch UFC, And boxing, the internal wars, it's killing the sport. Canelo could save the sport, but it has to be Canelo versus Benavidez. So there's a conspiracy, and right now we don't know what's the next move. But if it's Benavidez, he'll trump it. That's the only fight. If it's something else, Berlanga, it's not going to trump it. Sorry, it's not going to trump it. Boxing's going to take an L again.
I completely agree. I completely agree. It has to be Benavidez. It has to be Benavidez. Well, I mean, maybe if it's Crawford, I don't know how many. I think that fight does sell.
Yeah.
I think that fight does sell. But if it's a Berlanga, if it's a Jamal Charlo, if it's a Chris Eubanks, then I'm with you. But for the most part, yes, it definitely has to be Benavidez.
Hey, guys, I know you have to leave, Cholo. I see people calling you out.
Yeah.
Guys, anything else before we end the show? I'm looking forward to great fights this weekend. I'm definitely looking forward to August the 3rd. And I can't wait to talk about those big fights on that card there in L.A. With that said, Cholo, any last words?
Yeah. Next Friday, Lexus Rocha fights. I'm going to be there.
Okay.
Oh, cool. So you're not going to be on the show? You're going to be live over there?
Hopefully I could do the show from there. As long as we get, I got to see what they give, man. As long as I get the Wi-Fi, I'm looking forward to doing the show from there. Alexis Rocha, coming back from the beating that he took, man. So, we're going to be, I'll be out there in Indio.
Oh, that's going to be cool. Mikey, any last words, brother?
Mikey TV, I got suspended, but I'll be back July 22, and I'm going to come back harder. I'm going to come back and watch me here, Tres Chingones, and my Mikey TV. I'm coming back, like Canelo.
Orale Cholo, give us your what you always say at the end of the show, brother, and then we'll go to an end. There you go.
Yes, sir. Whatever you guys do this weekend, be safe doing this. We'll come back and do it again. Enjoy the fights to the next round. See you guys then.
Orale, good weekend.
All right, gentlemen.